rebounds under control. The defense is in front of us. Put a 20-point quarter on the board in the third quarter. Hold them under 20 points and keep your rhythm, keep your offense going. 24 more minutes, gentlemen. Here we go.
Nuggets coach George Karl preaching defense. His team did it in the first quarter, not as much in the second. We're at halftime of Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals, and the Lakers have the 1-point lead, 55-54. And hi again, everyone, with Mark Jackson and Jeff Van Gundy. Mike Breen on hand. The Nuggets took the first quarter. Lakers certainly took the second. What makes this series fun is we have two of the most dynamic scorers in the game, and they put on a show in that first half. Jeff, you start with Kobe Bryant. It's your Coors Light cold hard look with ESPN Access.
Well, every team builds their defensive strategy about limiting Kobe Bryant. And what you want to do is make him take contested two-point jump shots. Here, Denver is building their wall of defenders around Bryant. And as you see it spin around, you see a soft double team. But Bryant is able to split that double team on a step-through move. But the third defender rotating over Kenyon Martin blocks the shot. Here, Bryant very patient, even as he's staring at that wall of defenders. They now leave their help position. He takes Dante Jones to his spot and gets a foul and one. But what you can't do is make mistakes on Bryant in transition and where he gets to the free throw line into the basket in half court. That is 16 shot attempts by Kobe Bryant in the first half. They were quality looks.
Meanwhile, Carmelo Anthony in the first quarter, 16 of his 20 in that opening period. He was terrific early, Mark.
Oh, it's outstanding. You're talking about great players taking the pressure off of their team, making it easy. Well, he took the pressure by being aggressive early. Bad defense by the Lakers. This is a score. You can't give them knockdown shots. Good extra pass, stepping in rhythm, time and time again. And then putting the ball on the floor, making plays towards the paint area. And you put them in pick and roll situations, your job is to make the right decision. They're going to double team you, puts it on the floor, and then lays it off to Nena. Does a good job of getting it going early. Take a look at the made shots. If you're the Lakers, you don't like this shot because Carmelo Anthony got quality looks.
Lakers are bringing up. Lakers shot just 38% from the field, but they had 9 offensive rebounds. Meanwhile, the Nuggets shot 53% from the field, but they missed 9 free throws. Bryant with Dante Jones on him. He picked up 3 fouls in the first half. This is his first attempt for the third, and Nene with the rebound. Anthony, quick move inside and draws the foul. He got hit on the left hip. And a little grimace. He'll go to the line. So 4 fouls on Bynum. Unable to get it going. Right now, Phil Jackson leaving him in.
Well, if I'm Phil Jackson, I'm coaching Lakers, I'm leaving Andrew Bynum in the ballgame. Just trust that he has to make the right decisions. What you want to do at that size is just use that length and don't commit fouls. Force Melo to shoot over.
Very well designed play coming out of halftime where they cleared the side of the floor. So as Anthony came off, he had a lot of room to work with and was able to create the body contact with Bynum.
Let's check in with Doris Burke.
Mike, Jeff talked about little things winning you ball games for George Karl. He talked about those missed free throws you mentioned as taking away the team's momentum. He said for about 5 minutes, the rebounding got away from us. The 3-ball got loose for a stretch of time. He said, what I would like to see in this third period is the kind of defensive pace we set in that first period, allowing us to dictate the terms of the game. That won't make him happy, gentlemen.
Absolutely not. Bryant now with 20. An easy dunk to help defense, obviously late.
It was off the inside post play of Pau Gasol, reading the defense, being patient, getting everybody out the way, and then makes the crisp pass to Bryant.
Odom gets off the bench. Nene kicks it out. Dante Jones just grazes the rim. Jones is out there for this end of the floor. He's been guarding Bryant quite a bit. Ariza tried to jam it in there. A kick ball. So the shot clock resets to 14. Odom will now replace Bynum in his 4 fouls.
This is all Pau Gasol and man movement also by Bryant. Nobody looking at Pau Gasol. They allow Kobe Bryant to slash to the cup. That's good offense, bad defense by the Nuggets.
Ariza can't hit the three. Phillips the rebound. Lakers 6 of 15 from downtown.
But I like that defense. They're playing halfway off of Ariza as Phillips hits the two-pointer. Halfway off Ariza to prevent the post-entry pass to Bryant in the post. And that indecision three where you're sort of pass faking, it's a very difficult shot.
Phillips more distributing than scoring as he did earlier in the class. Ariza lost it, got a back. Good defense. That's a double dribble. Kenyon Martin, who can be a very talented defender, very versatile, can guard a number of different positions, did an excellent job there.
A really underrated defender, able to defend multiple positions, does a good job of intimidating and playing with force.
When he first came into the league out of Cincinnati, the #1 overall pick, he said his goal was to be Defensive Player of the Year. Now, a couple of big knee surgeries probably will prevent that from happening, but he's had a very good defensive year this season. Anthony, one dribble, puts it in. Carmelo Anthony with 24. He's already had a 40-point game in the playoffs. Did it against Dallas with 41, including that game-winning controversial three-pointer. Nuggets by 3. Gasol, high arcing shot. His third field goal.
I like the Lakers getting him touches early in this third quarter. It's going to pay dividends down the stretch.
Again, Kobe Bryant started on Chauncey Billups. Then they switched him on Anthony after he wrecked it in the first quarter. Trying to do it here again. Jones trying to tip it to himself. Odom, bad pass, deflected by Billups, but it's going to be Laker ball. Odom's length. Billups obviously not happy.
Only 5 seconds to get it across if the Lakers don't notice it, which they don't.
And Odom, no, there it is. Fisher tried to tell Odom. And an 8-second violation. As you bring it up the court, if it's deflected by the defense, it continues the count from there on in. And a turnover, number 9 for LA. Ariza trying to fight over the screen. Trying to do it again. Nene out to Billups. Billups to Jones. Stripped and fouled. Let's see if they call it the act of shooting. Scott Foster checking with Joe DeRosa. They're going to say no, take it out of bounds as Ariza picks up his second.
And George Karl talked about that offense. When they get people on long closeouts, he terms it attack their feet. Billups did that, created the penetration and the foul against Dante Jones.
When you have a great offensive player, you don't have to call sets. They are going to create open shots for other guys. That's what Carmelo Anthony is doing on the floor for the Nuggets.
And a foul, or a whistle. And it's going to go against Ariza again. So that's 3 on Ariza. Ariza has 3, Odom has 3, Bynum has 4. And already 3 team fouls for the Lakers. We're just 3.5 minutes in. We shoot the penalty on the 5th foul. Anthony, catch, shoot, that's a 3. That's good. Carmelo Anthony, 27 points in 24 minutes.
But we are watching mistakes being made by Trevor Ariza defensively. Your responsibility is to guard Carmelo Anthony and do not give him any airspace. He's getting quality looks, uncontested jumpers.
He's 3 for 3 from downtown. And a foul on Nene.
You know, Coach, other guys are zoning the area. You have Lamar Odom and Pau Gasol zoning the area. If you're Trevor Ariza, you have no help responsibilities, but an outstanding screen by Kenyon Martin creating that open shot for Carmelo Anthony.
And that's why I don't like overloading the side defensively against everyone. Against Carmelo Anthony, yes. Against Chauncey Billups, against Kobe Bryant, guard him straight up one-on-one. You do not need the extra assistance defensively.
Odom gets it in, tries to adjust. And a 3-second violation call. 10 turnovers for the Lakers. Bill Jackson giving Joe DeRosa an earful.
Interestingly enough, Kobe Bryant just looked at Trevor Ariza and said, you got to go after him. Defensively, you have to get in Carmelo Anthony. Leaders have to lead.
That's a remix of what he really said. But we can't repeat that.
Phillips tried to jam it in. He thought he got hit instead. A turnover for Denver. Bryant lobs back to Odom for the easy finish. Anthony trying the other way, but the Lakers get back in a hurry. Martin, they've left him open outside. Dante Jones got tied up. Sloppy stretch here in the third. Derek Fisher on the pull-up. In and out. Ariza the rebound. Stripped by Martin. Picked up by Jones. Good defense from Kobe Bryant getting in Dante Jones' way. Anthony hits a three. A two-pointer. But still knocks it down. Crowd felt there should have been a couple of calls against the Nuggets as they go up by 5.
And they're going to review that shot right there. The officials gave the signal to the score. They want to look at that when they can.
They'll look at it at the next whistle. Well, there was a 3 as Nene picks up his 3rd foul. A little sarcastic cheer from the crowd here at Staples Center. Let's take a look at our replay, see if Anthony's shot was good from 3. Difficult replay to tell on. This is better. That's hard to tell.
That's a three.
That's a 3.
And they called it on the floor, too.
Bryant gets in. Gasol cleans it up.
And see, that miss by Kobe Bryant might as well be an assist because help has to come to support Dante Jones. Gasol free run to the rim, cleans it up, easy basket.
Ariza the steal. Phillips the one-man back, feeds Fisher. Fisher lays it in. Trevor Ariza 9th in the NBA in steals during the regular season. Nice defensive play there. And George Karl calls timeout.
Well, Ariza does something unusual. He plays to the outside, steals it from the outside, and then inexcusable by Denver. No one hustling back. Fisher, easy layup, 2-on-1. Nice play by Ariza at both ends of the floor.
Let's check in with Doris.
Well, guys, one of the major themes since Chauncey Billups arrived in Denver is his change on the level of professionalism and commitment to the defensive end of the floor by that particular team. In that timeout, he was in the ear of Carmelo Anthony, basically discussing how to contend with Kobe Bryant. And one of the things he told us earlier today is you have to understand who you can go to one-on-one, who you can call out publicly. Apparently, Carmelo Anthony is not a sensitive guy, gentlemen.
They've established a very strong relationship during the course of this year. Billups telling us it took him about a month to kind of figure out which guys he could get in his face, which guys he had to kind of do it quietly on the side. Anthony, and a reach-in foul on Ariza. He's got 4. The team has 4. Anthony is such a tough cover. He can score in so many ways. Posting up off the dribble from three-point range. Luke Walton comes in for Ariza. So now Walton will guard Carmelo Anthony. Bryant did a pretty good job on him for a while in the second quarter.
But they have Billups under control because Bryant is on him. So that's a difficult decision. Do you put Bryant on the guy who's going the best, or do you try to keep Chauncey Billups under control?
And a loose ball foul, I believe, against Nene, and that will be his 4th. So a couple of foul difficulties for both teams. Chris Anderson jumps off the bench. The Birdman, he's mad. Don't give me that head shake. I'm upset. 4 fouls. He's played well, 14 points.
And if you're the Los Angeles Lakers right now, it's inexcusable for Carmelo Anthony to take over this game on the offensive end. When you talk about having Kenyon Martin, Chris Anderson, and Dante Jones on the floor, help has to be there. You have to force the ball out of the hands of Melo.
Bryant and Jones. Billups looking to come help. Good defense from Jones. Bryant gets in. May have got away with a travel. Gasol. Ball knocked out of his hands. Bryant double team, finding Walton through his hands, but right to Odom. Back out, Fisher. Good defense from the Nuggets. Shot clock down to 5. Fisher on the drive, flips it up and in. Boy, that was a messy possession, but they come away with 2. What a tough shot from Fisher. Phillips for 3. Won't go. Martin, the rebound. Dante Jones showing his athleticism with a bit of a wild shot. Fisher for 3. Largest lead of the game for the Lakers.
The question is, where does this Denver Nugget team get scoring from? George Karl obviously has the same questions since J.R. Smith, getting him ready to get into the ball game.
9 straight points. Anderson looks to make a drive. Nice move from Anderson off the dribble. Averages 7 points a game during the playoffs. As Smith ready to come into the game. A little offensive energy. Bryant backs it in.
Kobe Bryant upset. Very physical defense against him. Dante Jones and this Nuggets team getting away.
Hold him on Anderson. Anthony looking. Gasol on in. Wants to take him off the dribble. Here's a double. And a whistle. And it's another offensive 3 seconds. This one called against Denver. We've seen a couple of those calls.
Here's Dante Jones. What you're doing, you want to force Kobe Bryant. You don't want to just lay back and allow him to do the damage on the offensive end. It's about playing to your strength. But the same thing that worked against a smaller guard in Chris Paul, that's not going to work against Kobe Bryant also.
J.R. Smith now on Bryant. Bryant blows right past him inside. Knocked away. He's upset. Very upset. He thought he was hit. Phillips spinning, and Fisher just grabs him. And a technical foul on Kobe Bryant for slamming the ball down. Bryant was upset down the other end. Let's take a look.
And this time it's J.R. Smith. The blow by there of Bryant. Well, that's just the way that this Nuggets team plays. And if you're Kobe Bryant, you have to understand there's going to be some calls that's not going to go your way. You have to stay the course. That's a good job by the Nuggets attempting to frustrate Bryant.
Phillips hits the technical free throw, and because the Lakers in the penalty, they'll now shoot more. And the reason that's a rule, if you slam the ball and it goes in the stands, which it did. He was just obviously a little upset. That's his 5th technical of the playoffs. So he had one rescinded.
I have a question. So if he catches that slam, it's not a technical. If he mishandles the slam and it bounces into the stands, it's an automatic technical?
Well, automatic if it goes in the stands, not automatic if he just slams it. That's up to the discretion of the official.
So because he had bad hands in that scenario, it cost him a technical foul?
In some way.
Now, does that make sense? I'm just asking, does that make sense?
Well, but he did it in anger. That's the idea.
But if he did it in anger and caught it, it's not a technical foul.
No, they still might give him a technical for that. Shannon Brown in the game for the Lakers. They lead by 1. Just over 3 minutes remaining in this 3rd quarter. Luke Walton against Anthony. Can't get it to go. Kenyon Martin with his 7th rebound. Phillips on the drive. The runner in the paint is good. Chauncey Billups, 12 points, 7 assists. Nuggets back up by 1.
And the bench for Denver in the first half gave him very limited production. They're going to have to do a better job in the 3rd and the start of the 4th to get a cushion.
They're going to need J.R. Smith to get it going on the offensive end. Him scoring takes so much pressure off of Billups and Melo.
Throws it out of bounds. He only has 1 point mark. He's missed most of his field goals. For the playoffs, he's averaging just over 16 a game, their 3rd score. And they need it right now. But Denver still with the 1-point lead with just under 2.5 remaining in the third.
Well, Chauncey Billups loves to drive it left. Good little floater in the lane. High arcing shot. He's got to get going. They need his offense as well as Anthony's to be able to get over the hump here in L.A.
Come on, gentlemen. Keep competing. Keep playing, man. We got about 3 possessions where we haven't run back. You got to take every possession, man. We got to fight here, right here, gentlemen. Go get a hoop here and play some defense. Keep the turnovers under control. You're in a good place. You're in a good place. Stay with it.
Well, they've tried to stay with Kobe Bryant and do it in a physical manner, Mark.
Oh, George Karl is saying, hey, we're playing against a great player, but if he's going to be great, it's going to be on our terms. That's playing with force and getting after him. Dante Jones does a great job of straightening up and then pulls the chair. That's not a foul right there. That's just outstanding defense, getting Bryant off rhythm. You talk about J.R. Smith. Send him to the help. Straight up, Bryant flops. Good job of help coming and securing the basketball.
Offensive foul on Gasol running into Chris Anderson. Meanwhile, Carmelo Anthony taking a rest. Linus Kleza comes in. Gasol picks up his third. Excuse me, they call my mistake. They call it on Shannon Brown. That's his first. Coming up on 2 minutes remaining in the third. Smith trying to post up. He just shoved Kobe Bryant out of the way. There's where Bryant can be such a good defender. When he wants to deny the ball, he's amongst the best. And Smith picks up the personal, his second.
If the Nuggets are going to beat the Los Angeles Lakers, they are going to need a better J.R. Smith. This has been a bad game all around for him. He is much better than the way that he is playing in game 9.
He has more turnovers than points. Just a 1 point on a free throw. Nuggets have turned it over 6 times here in the third. Lakers, meanwhile, turn it over once again for them. That's the 13th, same as Denver. This quarter's been a little sloppy at times.
Yeah, Denver is going to regret the opportunities missed, both from the free throw line and with some careless ball handling, as well as giving up extra second shots.
A rare playoff game this year where Billups has not shot well. 3 for 9.
Very good defensive sequence by Kenyon Martin. He came and helped against Bryant in transition and then recovered to guard his own man.
Good offensive board for Walton. Nice pass to Gasol. Lakers need somebody besides Kobe Bryant to start getting going offensively. Maybe Gasol.
Well, the little things that Luke Walton does on the floor. Offense, rebound, and then makes the play to Gasol.
3 assists for Walton off the bench. Pass inside. Martin blocked from behind. I think it was Odom. And Brown knocked to the ground hard. He's hurt. As Kleza barreled into him. Maybe he's not so hurt. Pays to be young. So Brown, at 23 years old, bounces up. So Shannon Brown, after taking a hit, quickly back up. It's a 14th foul for Denver. Walton sits down. Vujicic back in. Brown, when he was acquired from Charlotte for Vladimir Radmanovic, Phil Jackson said, we've got to see if this man can help us in any way he can get into the rotation. He wasn't playing that much in Charlotte. His energy, his athleticism, he's become part of the rotation on a regular basis. As Bryant misses, Martin the rebound.
And he's turned in in these playoffs into a knockdown three-point shooter.
One of the highest percentages of anybody in the postseason. Smith for 3. That's good from way downtown. His first field goal. He has unlimited range.
And that's why George Karl leaves him in the ballgame. He's a guy that's capable of heating up and making big plays.
We wind down the third quarter. Brown, here's the 3. Won't go. Smith with the rebound. Brown at 59% in the playoffs. Took a hard shot from Anderson who set a pick drive, wanted a foul. Shot clock turned off. Billups looking, nearly falls. Brown doing a good job. Billups has to flip it up. Excellent defense from Shannon Brown as the third quarter comes to an end. Chauncey Billups has struggled with his shot, but he has 8 assists. Carmelo Anthony leading the way for the 5th time in this postseason. He's hit the 30-point mark. But as we head to the 4th quarter of game number 1 here in the Western Conference Finals, it's the Nuggets with a 2-point lead, 76-74. Fourth quarter set to begin game 1 of the Western Conference Finals. Lakers trailing the Nuggets 76-74. Time for our late game adjustments presented by Burger King.
Coach Jackson, with a short turnaround time, you talked about winning this game with energy and emotion. As you move to the 4th, what's the most important thing for your team?
Well, I don't know if we're getting too emotional in the game. Kobe got a little emotional, got a technical little change in the way the game was run. But, you know, we have to have better execution right now. Our execution's not good. We're turning the ball over, not making the right passes.
You conceded that Carmelo Anthony is a great scorer, Coach, but he's got 30. Anything different you want with him?
Well, we're not focusing on where he's coming from and what's going on off-ball situation so that when he gets the ball, we're prepared to play defense. We have to do a better job of that.
Coach, thank you.
All right, Doris, he said Carmelo Anthony is a given. He said Chauncey Billups with the ball in his hand, that's a problem for us. As Carmelo Anthony starts the 4th quarter on the bench. Right before the start, Sasha Vujacic and J.R. Smith with some words. It's Billups, Smith, Martin, Glazer, and Anderson right now for Denver. Shot clock winding down. Martin floats it in there. Good quick move from Kenyon Martin. He's got 13 points.
And if you're defending Martin, you have to know he's always coming back to his left hand.
Shannon Brown, Lamar Odom, Kobe Bryant, Gasol, and Vujacic. Ball knocked away. Bryant hurt his right hand. And Kenyon Martin is hurt down the other end. He's slow to get up. And George Karl wants to stop. Martin is down and shaken up. See most of the Nugget bench getting up off the floor to come attend to their teammate. Let's see the play. He just ran right into him. You see Martin tried to break his fall by grabbing a jersey. So while they tend to Martin, we'll take a quick break and be right back. And again, Nuggets fans, they have been wild in the playoffs. It's been such a great atmosphere. Getting a chance for their first conference finals home game in 24 years. Kenyon Martin had the wind knocked out of him as the Lakers call for a foul. This is the play just moments ago. As Kobe Bryant goes barreling into him, Martin tries to kind of grab his jersey, and Kobe Bryant hurt that right hand. He dislocated his right ring finger early in the season. He's played through it. Second year in a row he's had a hand injury like that. And he's played through. Smith, long three, won't go. Vujacic tracks it down. Good hustle. Bryant obviously stays in the game. Looks inside for Odom. Odom flips it up and in. Lamar Odom's been quiet tonight. Just 7 points, but he brings the Lakers within 2.
Good adjustment by Bryant, taking the double team and making the play to Odom. I think Bryant has to make the decision in the single coverage, play with 4.
Nice pass, and count it, and a foul. Anderson comes flying in on a pretty bounce pass from Billups.
Well, Billups blew by Shannon Brown. Good dish pass. And again, when one big for the Lakers, that was Lamar Odom, went to help, Pau Gasol has to pull over immediately versus wait for the catch and always rely on the shot block. Shot blocking is an emergency defense. You've got to rotate sooner and put your body in front of the cutting Anderson.
Anderson with one of the more interesting appearances in the NBA.
Do you judge his height by the top of his hair?
Yes.
Because he's 7'2".
Got those high socks too. He loves it. He loves being back playing. Farmar back in the game. And a reach-in foul called on Anthony. That's going to be his 3rd. Let's take a quick listen to a recent Phil Jackson huddle.
Okay, now let's take a deep breath and get ourselves collected. So we get our stops. We start to get stops and get some runouts, push the ball at this team and get something accomplished, all right?
When they play good aggressive defense, they are tough to stop as Bryant hits a three. And a lead back to 2.
Mistake by J.R. Smith, falling asleep on the perimeter defending Bryant. You have to keep a body on him, be in position to contest.
Mike, I want to go back to that timeout. There's a lot of frustration in this game. Phil Jackson, great poise as J.R. Smith hits another long three. Great poise to try to gather his team.
We have two coaches who are very calm on the sidelines. Carl is like that as well. Gasol out to Farmar, open three, puts it in. Jordan Farmar, a big bucket. Here comes Smith. He can get as hot as any player in the NBA if it gets it going. Sometimes a little out of control right there. Anthony Carter tries to save it and does. Good hustle from Carter. Smith will try another three. Anderson comes flying in for the rebound. And Smith will reset. Smith. Oh, nice pass. I thought that was a shot. And Smith threw it up for Anderson, who got hit, and he'll go to the free throw line.
When you think about this, there was a time when J.R. Smith would be on the bench right now the way that he started this ball game. But George Karl, admittedly a changed coach, much more patient, and his trust in J.R. Smith finding his way is paying off.
They butt heads quite a bit. Lots to do with the shot selection of Smith. He can get a little out of control, but his game starting to mature this year as Anderson misses a free throw. That's 10 missed free throws for Denver here tonight. Smith had a game earlier this season where he hit 11 three-pointers, one shy of the NBA record.
It was a great trade by Denver. They gave up only 2 second-round picks to give up what arguably, along with Jason Terry, were the 2 sixth men of the year.
I think you can take arguably out. Those were clearly the 2 best guys off the bench in this league.
Vujacic off the dribble, gets to the basket, blocked by Anderson. Odom picks it up. He can't get it to go. Odom gets it back, lost it, and it's Denver ball. Anderson with a terrific defensive play. Odom stayed with it but couldn't hold on.
The plays that Kenyon Martin and Chris Anderson have made in the paint area. Outstanding job taking care of the basket.
That's his second block. Nene can't hit. Anthony the rebound and put back. Good tough rebound for Carmelo Anthony. You can feel the crowd a little anxious here at Staples Center. Their Lakers down by 5. Vujacic for 3. And Smith, the rebound.
That's an awful shot. You can get that three-point shot at any time.
Smith for 3. Vujacic looking to push. Finds Farmar. Farmar off the dribble, tripped up by Smith. And that's 4 fouls on Smith.
Well, Kobe Bryant is matched up with Anthony on Anthony's last shot. No one really understands just how strong Carmelo Anthony is. Good second shot and finish as Denver's up 5.
Just over 4 minutes gone by here in the 4th. Lakers lost game 1 in the previous series at home to Houston. Right now, they trail by 5.
2 simple words. Time warps.
Something's happening. It's beautiful! Did we go back in time? And space.
While the Nuggets are vying for their first Western Conference title, they've made history before. In the 1994 playoffs, they defeated the #1 seed Sonics, a first for an 8 seed.
Well, George Karl was the coach of that losing Sonic team, but he's been the coach of a lot of winning teams. This is his 4th conference final. Twice he went there with Seattle, 93 and 96. Then in 2001, went with the Milwaukee Bucks. And now back again with the Denver Nuggets. He's in his 5th year as head coach of the Nuggets, 21st year overall. And Karl enjoying it. As we said, he's calm on the sidelines. He said he gets that from Dean Smith. He played at North Carolina for Smith. He says Smith has been such a huge influence on him. Talked to him before the first round as Odom gets inside, misses. And Anthony the rebound. Anthony Carter in there. He's the backup point guard while Billups gets a rest. Carter's had a very solid season. Bryant nearly with the steal. He's now on Anthony. And Carmelo Anthony calls timeout. A 20-second timeout. Good double team from Bryant and Kobe Bryant. 5-point game, 7.5 to play.
Talk about the best players showing up and battling. Well, certainly Carmelo Anthony and Kobe Bryant going after it. Contest, air ball. How about Melo on the defensive end? Denying, fighting, competing. That's what you want. Frustration picks up a tee, but absolutely acceptable for both coaches having their best players get after it.
And you heard from Kobe Bryant earlier in the telecast saying that during the summer in Beijing, Carmelo Anthony was his closest friend, the two teammates to win that gold medal. Pass inside, Anthony, and the finish. Nice feed from Nene. 34 for Carmelo. And it's a 7-point Denver lead. It's the largest lead of the second half. They led by 13 in the first quarter before the Lakers came back. Vujacic for three. He just can't get any kind of rhythm in his shot in this postseason after being so good last year in the playoffs. Anthony steps up. Three-pointer. Won't go. Bynum tips it to himself.
Lakers got away with bad transition defense, allowing Carmelo Anthony to step into a rhythm jet.
Bryant takes it to Smith. There's the help defense. Gets away from that. Floats it up and in. And a foul. Beautiful adjustment from Kobe Bryant and a chance for a three-point play.
Well, a good job initially in their transition defense to corral Bryant and not let him get to the basket. As the double team comes around, Chris Anderson makes a mistake of allowing Bryant by him. Nene comes over. Clearly a foul. Good left-hand finish by Kobe Bryant.
And Nene his fifth foul. Bryant to the line for the fifth time tonight.
And that's exactly what I was talking about. You have to meet force with force. The way that they're defending Bryant and also the way that Bryant's defending Carmelo Anthony. Offensively, you have to play with force, create the contact, and worst case scenario, get to the line.
And Mike, George Karl, when asked who he finishes with, said if he's ahead at this point in the game, he'll usually go with Anthony Carter for defense. If behind, more often than not, he'll go with J.R. Smith.
Carter gets it to Martin. Kenyon Martin, that float shot again, just flips it in. He's had an effective game, 15 points.
But here's what strategy where that comes into play. If you're the Lakers, that's good defense. If Kenyon Martin is going to make that shot, then you're down 1-0 and you live with it.
Bryant posting up Carter. Nice defense from Carter. Nope. They said he hit him on the arm. Carter doesn't agree. As Bryant will return to the line. 2 on Carter.
Take advantage of the size. Get the ball into the hands of Kobe Bryant on the post. Has a smaller guy defending him. Tough to tell whether it was a foul, but all I know is that Bryant's at the line for 2.
Right, and when you're telling your players, you've got to contest as hard and as high as you can without fouling or appearing to foul. And right there, like you said, too hard to tell on our replay, but it appeared like a foul.
George Karl not hesitant to use Carter, as Jeff said. Carter played a lot of playoff battles when he was with Miami, a lot of those Nick Heat battles. You know, we talk about all these different adjustments and keys. You look at a game like this, sometimes it comes down to who makes his free throws. Bryant hits 2 right there. Coming up on the midway point, fourth quarter of game 1. Carter up, bank shot won't go. And Odom and Bynum both went for it, knocked it out of bounds.
To me, George Karl, if at some point with 12 seconds left on the shot clock, is going to have to go back to J.R. Smith so that they put 5 scorers on the floor.
Carter's shot didn't hit the rim, and the Lakers never had possession, so they don't reset the 24. Anthony inside, just hammered by Bynum. That's going to be 5 on Bynum. No, a 2-shot foul. They say Anthony in the act.
What I love about Carmelo right now, he is fighting for the basketball. Just too strong for Kobe Bryant. Basically called the get off me move, creates the space, gets the basketball, and then going to the line.
Anthony made All-NBA third team this year, along with his teammate Chauncey Billups, as Gasol comes in for Bynum. When you look at the numbers on Carmelo Anthony, look at the regular season. He struggled as they lost 3 of 4, but he has been superb, especially with those 16 points in the first quarter. That's when Denver gave themselves a 13-point lead. Right now they're up 6, just past the midway point. Fisher back in for L.A. Bryant falling away, tough shot, and gets it to go. That hit the front of the rim and went forward. 32 for Kobe.
The same old story. It comes down to getting stops in the fourth quarter. Which team does it?
Carter looking. Billups gets it inside. Anthony blocked by Odom. Fisher with the save. Odom with his second block shot.
And Carmelo Anthony's got to run back.
Odom has it knocked away. Good defense from Kenyon Martin. Martin has played a good, solid game. And a foul. It's going to be against Kobe Bryant on his post defense. That's 3 on Bryant, and the Lakers in the penalty. And although the Nuggets were terrible from the line in the first half, they've hit 9 of 10 in the second half.
But just what we talked about, you don't have to run offense. That's just Carmelo Anthony getting to the sweet spot and forcing fouls. You got to have great players down the stretch that find a way to make life so much easier offensively.
You forget Anthony's 6'8". And runs, as we said earlier, from the outside, can post up.
That's a strong body. In the post, he's a handful. Kobe Bryant is as strong as any perimeter player, and he still is at a disadvantage strength-wise against Anthony in the post.
They're checking to see whether or not that was the 15th foul. George Karl saying absolutely 5. And now Joe DeRosa chatting with Scott Foster. When that foul was committed, it had up on the scoreboard that it was the 4th, so it should have been number 5.
And one thing you have to do defending a great scorer, you have to stay sharp. You can't fall asleep. The ball goes away. You have to keep in contact with the body. At times, Kobe Bryant has a way of falling asleep. That time, Melo diving to the cup.
Now 21 of 32 from the line. Again, better in the second half, but every free throw is so critical down the stretch. Crowd trying to rattle him behind. 94-89, 5-point lead with just over 5 to play.
And at some point, you're going to have to get the ball out of Kobe Bryant's hands and make Lamar Odom and Trevor Ariza shoot the ball and make shots from 3.
Gasol. Shot clock at 7. Odom wants to take Martin. Odom on the drive, stops, falling away. Bank shot won't go. Gasol's tip misses, and Anderson the rebound. Again, good defense from Kenyon Martin, making it a difficult shot for Odom. Billups steps back for 3. In and out. Gasol goes high for the rebound. His 12th. Under 4.5 remaining. Gasol to Ariza. Ariza for 3. Bang! 2-point game.
And if I think you're the Lakers, you don't allow Carmelo Anthony to play one-on-one. You got to double team and force the ball out of his hands, and the same thing with Billups in pick and roll situation.
Chance of defense as Billups looks to get free. Billups to Martin. Martin's jump shot. Short. Ariza the rebound. Lakers down by as many as 13 in the first half. By as many as 7 here in the fourth. Bryant stripped of the ball once again, and Anderson comes up with it. His help defense, as usual, very strong. Anthony Carter left wide open. Rebound, Anthony in the putback. And the Lakers want timeout. Carmelo Anthony, huge offensive rebound. He has 39, and Denver goes up 4.
Carmelo Anthony making plays. The ball doesn't come to him initially. Well, go get it. Mama, there goes that man on the offensive board. Time and time again, punishing the smaller Laker defenders.
He has been sensational in these playoffs. That continues tonight. Beautiful night in Los Angeles. Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals from Staples Center. Lakers down by 4. Two great offensive players, Kobe Bryant, Carmelo Anthony, battling defensively.
Well, you never thought that Kobe Bryant didn't have the will. You didn't know about Carmelo Anthony. Does he have the will at the highest level to compete and go for it? You're seeing here tonight the will of a championship caliber player. He's going at Kobe Bryant. He's going at the Lakers. He's not shying away from the contact. This is big-time competitive spirit by the two best players on their respective teams. If you're going to be the best player on the championship team, you better have a certain will to compete and to win.
Our GMC game track. Largest lead in the second half has only been 7. That was earlier in the fourth. Anthony and Bryant big numbers. Lakers, those second chance points because of 16 offensive rebounds. Fisher brings it up. J.R. Smith is back in the game for Denver. Bryant jump shot. Puts it in. 34.
You know what I was talking about, Will? It also helps to have some skill. So he comes off, Bryant does, pulls off as Nene contests high and just sticks it right in the heart of the bucket.
He's got 12 in the fourth, under 3 to play. Phillips on the drive, trying to draw contact. Nene inside, blocked by Gasol. 9th block of the game for the Lakers. Bryant tied up, good defense from Martin. Ariza hesitated on the 3. Shot clock at 8. Bryant on the drive. Corner, Fisher, three-pointer. It's good! Lakers take the lead.
And that's an outstanding read by Bryant. Good job of taking the double team and making the play for Fisher.
Fisher's hit a couple of big threes. Their first lead of the fourth quarter after trailing by 7. Anthony inside, tough shot, offensive foul. Pau Gasol, 2 straight strong defensive plays.
Coach, we talked about it. Double teaming Carmelo Anthony. Pau Gasol just there, willing to take the hit, make life tough. And then on the other end, who's going to make a play? Kobe Bryant says, everybody get out of my way. It's time to dance. Draws the defense. Derek Fisher steps into a wide open three-point.
Anthony's fourth foul is their first fourth quarter turnover. Odom looking inside to Gasol. Martin. And there's a foul on Martin. A clear foul as Gasol will go to the free throw line. 15th foul. And for Kenyon Martin, just his second. Pau Gasol, 1 for 1 from the line here tonight. Only 68% so far in the postseason. During the regular season, an excellent free throw shooter, but this is that one. 1:53 remaining. Lakers were down 13 in the first half. Down 7 here in the fourth quarter with under 7 minutes remaining. Misses both and they made the rebound. Ariza on Phillips. Bryant on Anthony. There's the help from Gasol. Phillips steps back to 3. That's good. Chauncey Billups nails the 3.
That is a tough shot by Chauncey Billups.
Nuggets back up by 2 and a smile from Billups as he went down the floor. Odom up top to Fisher. Great ball denial from Anthony. And as Kobe Bryant can't get it, Fisher has to jack up the 3, trying to get a foul. Gasol, the rebound, blocked from behind, but a foul. Nuggets played some terrific defense, but Gasol got the offensive board. Now Gasol making big plays here Martin felt that was a clean block. As he was not charged with a foul, it was Nene. So Nene is fouled out.
Well, the final step of defense is to finish it off with a defensive rebound. I don't know about that foul, but clearly Nene had him wrapped up earlier in the possession, which would have resulted in the same thing.
The 17th offensive rebound for the Lakers. You talked about that before, and that could be a problem for Denver. And now Gasol to the free throw line. He just missed 2.
You know what the Nuggets are doing? They're saying somebody else have to beat us. Carmelo Anthony, good job. Your job is to keep the ball out of the hands of Kobe Bryant. You have no help responsibility. Stick to him. Outstanding job of following the game plan by Melo.
Tie game. Gasol comes right back after missing 2 to knock them down. Coming up on a minute remaining. Either team with a foul to give, both with multiple timeouts remaining. Anderson drives down the lane, running shot, way off the mark. Rebound tipped, knocked on the floor. Anderson dives, and they'll call a jump ball. Good hustle from both teams. Now there's 7 on the shot clock. Should Denver retain possession?
But that was a great rotation by Lamar Odom on the pick and roll as Anderson rode. Odom was there early, prevented a good shot attempt, and then a good hustle play by both teams getting on the floor.
Odom and Anderson, no clear advantage. Again, if Denver retains, they'll only have 7 to shoot. Lakers would get a new 24. Odom wins the tip. Huge jump ball.
And that tip was stolen by both players. It didn't get up to its apex.
Anthony trying to fight over a screen. Shot clock down to 8. Bryant the drive, the pull-up. Won't go. Phillips tips it. Knocked it out of bounds. And it's Laker ball. 11 and a half seconds difference between shot clock and game clock. And we'll have a timeout. With 35.5 remaining. Lakers coming back from 7 down here in the 4th quarter. We'll have the ball when we come back.
I am awfully impressed with Carmelo Anthony on the defensive end. Forget about offense. Guard the best guy on the floor. Do your job. Forces Kobe Bryant into a tough one. You live with the results when you execute the game plan. I remember Michael Jordan saying to Steve Kerr when they played with the Bulls, watch how they're playing me. You're going to be open. I'm going to give you the ball. This is an ideal time for Kobe Bryant to make that same type of move because they are loading to him and forcing him into tough shots. Trust your teammates and allow them to step in rhythm for quality shots.
See, I'm coming off Luke Walton. He's just coming into the game on offense. If I'm going to double, I'm doubling off of Luke Walton right now.
Bryant picked up by Martin, trying to draw a foul, and he gets it. And again, they're in the penalty, so Kobe Bryant will shoot 2 with 30.5 seconds remaining.
To me, that's a really bad foul in that situation. You don't have to go for the strip. Just try to contain him and make him take a tough shot. To put him at the free throw line is almost gifting them points instead of making them earn it.
Bryant here in chance of MVP, which he won last season. LeBron James this season. He's 6 of 7 from the line. Lakers back up by 1. Again, the Lakers do not have a foul to give. Nuggets still have 2 timeouts remaining. Most of the crowd on its feet. 2 clutch free throws. George Karl calls time. Lakers trying to come from behind to win game 1. Nuggets ball when we return. Right now, Denver down by 2. What do you look for, Jeff?
Was very interesting. Denver kept Anthony Carter in and took out Chris Anderson. So Lamar Odom has got to be giving support. LA cannot allow for the three-point shot. They've got to make him take it at the basket.
Bryant on Anthony. They've guarded each other much of this fourth quarter. Trevor Ariza with the steal. Ariza tiptoes and will bring it back out.
And you don't need to foul. There's a 4.5-second differential.
Fisher looking. Bryant looks up. But at least get up on him, try and go for a steal and force a turnover. Bryant on the drive to the basket. Hammered. When Kobe Bryant will shoot two, Lakers up two with 10 seconds remaining. Trevor Ariza, a huge defensive play.
Well, the smaller Anthony Carter had trouble passing the ball in over the long Lamar Odom, which allowed Ariza to shoot the gap for the steal because Carter had to lob the inbounds pass. Sometimes the simplest things, which is inbounding the ball safely, is why some teams take the ball out in the backcourt so it's not as difficult to get the ball in.
Clutch free throws here in the fourth quarter for Kobe Bryant. He's got 15 total points in the period, 37 for the game, and it's a three-point lead.
I love that decision, that last play. He sees the finish line. No time for jump shots. I'm going to put my head down and make a play. Worst case scenario, I'm going to the line.
And that's where if you're Denver, you have to make them be a passer in that situation.
Huge shot right there, 4-point game. And George Karl will call his final timeout. Trevor Ariza, who last year missed most of the playoffs with a broken foot, he has made his presence felt for the Lakers in this postseason.
Old commercial says, little things mean a lot. Well, on the defensive end, you have to pursue the basketball. Trevor Ariza with the game-saving play.
Lakers on their home floor now leading by 4. They trailed by as many as 7 here in this fourth quarter. 2 key plays here, Mark.
That was about closing out ball games. That's a bad foul. You have Bryant under control. You commit the foul, and then they've taken care of the ball the entire fourth quarter. Crucial turnover, trying to get the ball inbounds. Good job by Trevor Ariza getting after the pass.
Ariza with 3 steals in the game. As we said, 9th in the NBA during the regular season. All right, does Denver go for just a quick strike here, or do you look for a 3-year?
I'm going to look for the quickest, best shot, but I would rather it be a 3 down 4.
Phillips gets back, goes behind the arc, steps back, puts up a 3. It's good. Chauncey Phillips makes it a 1-point game. And on the inbound, Kobe Bryant wisely goes right to the ball and gets fouled.
And again, if you're Denver, after you make this 3-point shot, you want the ball going to anybody but Bryant. This is just a difficult shot. He stepped out of bounds on the 3. It goes in, and now Denver has no timeouts. Phil Jackson does not believe if they go up 3 in fouling to prevent the 3, but I think this is an ideal situation to do that in.
It's the perfect spot for it. First, Bryant has to hit the free throws. He's 7 for 7 here in the fourth quarter from the line. Once again, let's take a look at that play. His right toe, or left toe that is, he's on the line.
That's a tough shot, but you touched on it. There's no question if I'm coaching the Lakers, the right play is to commit the foul. Do not allow the Nuggets to step in rhythm for a 3-pointer. You're up 3 if this foul shot goes down, commit the foul and stretch the game.
And Phil Jackson brought his guards over, so he may be altering what he normally does.
Martin inbounds to Smith. Smith brings it up, and there's the foul. Smart play. Smith will shoot 2 free throws with 3.2 remaining. Again, what makes it so smart is that Denver is out of timeouts.
Well, even with timeouts, that is intelligent basketball. Phil Jackson has not done that in the past. I think a great adjustment by Phil Jackson.
All right, Mark. Does he try and make the first and miss the second because you're out of timeouts with only 3.2 remaining?
Well, that's something that obviously George Karl putting Chris Anderson in the ballgame. He has Melo who wants to say that. If you're J.R. Smith, the main thing is knocking down this first.
Now the key here is the players along the lane have to wait until Smith releases the ball.
But Anderson's not around the basket. He's going to try to get a running start from the perimeter. To me, you definitely have to miss this.
And I think if you're Derek Fisher, you want to stay at home on Chauncey Billups.
You see Ariza trying to box it out. Misses the second. Rebound, Kobe Bryant. And the Lakers will win game one. And J.R. Smith is down and hurt for the Denver Nuggets. He hit it perfectly off the rim and then tried to go in and get the rebound, with Bryant coming up with the basketball. George Karl obviously disappointed. Looked like he grabbed his right knee, but let's wait and see. And Kobe Bryant, clutch free throws. Carmelo Anthony was superb with 39, but the Nuggets will fall short because Kobe Bryant had 40. 18 of them in the fourth quarter. He's with Doris.
Kobe, this was a game in which your team had a very short turnaround. It was also a game where Denver had the lead for much of this basketball game. In the end of the day, what made the difference for your guys?
We just had to push through it. We didn't come out with the kind of energy that we wanted, obviously. Guys were a little fatigued, a little tired, but it was a gut check for us.
You were upset with your team after taking Houston to 7 games. You got into them after that game. What kind of a win is this? What kind of a growth does it show?
Well, it's a good win. It's important. Like I told the guys at the timeout, this is a different series. I felt like we were kind of down on ourselves because we got off to a slow start. With the whole stat, with the team that wins the first quarter wins the game. So forget about that. This is a completely different series.
You said to us yesterday, Kobe, that Carmelo is like a brother to you. You're very close with him. Today, you went back and forth in a head-to-head battle. What was that like?
It was a lot of fun. And, he's a bull down there, so I'm a little out of my weight class, but I'll give it my best shot.
Congratulations on a good win.
Thanks,
Kobe.